Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have another Power Rangers Ninja Steel review for you today. This is the rest of the second wave, which is comprised of 3 different villains. I've already taken a look at Ripcon about a week or so ago. So here we have Basher Monster and Ripperrat. I don't know, Ripperrat's okay. Basher Monster has got to be the most generic Power Rangers villain name I think I've ever heard. I mean, I don't know. Usually they come up with some kind of fun Uzis or putties or something like Basher Monster. Okay, call it a day. In any case, taking a look at the back of the packaging here. No bios. They just emphasize how all the figures can fit in the Megazord. And then you can see here on the bottom, the first wave was the 5 Rangers. And then Ripcon, Basher Villain, or Basher Monster, and Ripperrat. So that is, these 3 are the second wave, these first 5 are the first wave, and that is all we know of for the immediate future. I'm sure once the show starts, they'll start planning some more, and we'll get a wave 3 eventually, but for now, let's go ahead and get these 2 open, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here we are out of the packaging. I'll start with Basher Monster. Even though he has a terrible name, the figure is actually pretty decent. I like the crazy Rubik's Cube looking look he's got going on here on the helmet. And he's got a decent amount of paint and articulation. You can see here that he wields this kind of weird sword weapon, which has a little bit of detail molded into it. It is one solid color, as most weapons are. But I like it. I think they did a pretty good job. If we can get a little bit closer here, you can see there's some cool, little bit of detail here on the handle, which looks neat. Blade looks pretty cool. So I dig that. The figure itself, it has pretty much what most humanoid figures have. Not as detailed as a Ranger, but it has the kind of up and down and front to back for the shoulder, and it does have that kind of ratchety click that the Rangers have. It has 90 degrees at the elbow, but the rest of the hand is solid, so there's no swivel here at the wrist. Nothing in the waist. Very similar joint here in the hip to the shoulder. It's a little, impeded because of the skirt that he's got going on here. But you can do a little bit out to the side and a little bit out to the front. And then he's got some knee articulation that's pretty much 90 degrees, but not all the way. And then nothing in the ankle or anything like that. But pretty decent for a villain figure, I have to say. He looks good. Like I said, I like the paint on him. Nice detail here on the back. So you have a little bit of paint on his face, you have the paint here on his shoulders. I assume these pieces are just all molded in different colored plastic. But nice detailing. I mean, even though the paint isn't there on the legs, like is on the show or the costume, it has these grid lines kind of painted the same color blue. But I understand. I mean, that would almost be too much paint for this figure because of the size and the, cost. They need to keep that down. But nice detail here in the belt. I really like the torso detail. So I'm pretty happy with him. He holds the weapon fairly easily. So yeah, all around, I think this guy's a pretty good figure. I like him a lot. Moving on to Ripperrat. I like his design. I think he's kind of crazy looking. I like the head. They did a nice job with the white and the gold paint and the red on his crest. I think that looks pretty good. Get a little bit closer. So pretty cool there. And he's got these crazy chainsaws going all over the place. You can see he's mostly brown here on the back with some blue and white. Unfortunately, this guy doesn't have as much articulation as Basher Monster. He's got a very similar ratchet for the shoulder, but because of this furry shoulder piece, he can't really go out to the side anymore. He can go front to back, but he can really only get about 1 click on the outward angle there. And I'm sorry, I should probably frame this better. So you can see just 1 click out, but it can go front to back. There is nothing in the rest of the arm. No elbow. I don't think the hands can move, but even if they could, why would you want to? I don't really see the point. Nice silver paint here, which I appreciate. And then the same kind of shoulder type joint for the legs. This one moves much better. Out to the side, front to back. There's a little bit of a butt skirt issue, but it's really not bad. You can go pretty far, definitely out to the side. And then he's got knee articulation, which is pretty much 90 degrees, pretty close. So the legs articulation is pretty nice. Arms is a bit of a bummer. You can really only go front to back because out to the side is pretty much non-existent and there's nothing in the elbows or anything. But, I mean, judging by this guy's kind of design, you would think that he's really just going to kind of come forward and then slash with these, you know, pincer type claw things. So I don't feel like you'd need that much elbow articulation. And they thought, instead of giving you elbow articulation that's not really going to go anywhere, you know, put that money into the paint. So I can kind of get behind that decision. I like the design of him. He's definitely crazy looking. I like the chainsaws. I like the color scheme. And I think the paint's actually pretty good. He's actually even painted better than the back of the card. The back of the card has solid blue arms. This piece is actually brown. Which I think that's... I think it's just a separate piece of plastic. I don't think that's painted. I think this whole section here is molded in brown. And then the blue section kind of fits inside that. But in any case, I think it's a pretty cool figure. I think Basher Monster is probably the better out of the two when it comes to accessories and articulation. But I think they're definitely both worth a pickup. I think they're both fun. I like the design and color scheme of both of them. Yeah, I don't really have too much to complain about. The lack of articulation in the hands for Ripperrat is pretty much the only problem I have with these two figures. And I don't think that's a problem enough to stop you from picking it up. I think they're both fun. I recommend both of them. I just really wish this guy had a better name. Basher Monster has got to be the most generic name ever. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd like to hear your opinions. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Ripperrat and Basher Monster from the second wave of the Power Rangers Ninja Steel action figure line. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.